I'm Patti Castro from CASA of the South Plains, and it's great to be with y'all here today. I did come to CASA very organically. We became foster parents, and were foster parents for about 9 years. We had 23 children that went through our home during that time. Some of them came back more than once. And we noticed very quickly the difference that a CASA could make on the cases that we served. It was a night and day difference. Now, CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates. So we look at the case from all angles. We look at their basic needs of these children, the emotional needs, the medical needs, and the therapeutic needs for children that are brought into care through the foster care system. And we report to the judge and make recommendations that will serve in the best interest of that child. So I'll start with the beginning. We became foster parents because there was a couple of little girls that we knew in the foster care system that we wanted to adopt. And they did come to us briefly, but they were sent home to a parent whose home was in ill repair. There was a large hole in the kitchen floor that could not be fixed. And there was a bathroom where an incident had occurred and they had just kind of roped it off. It was not a safe environment for these children, including the fact that daily the police were called to their home on domestic violence calls. And so, as foster parents, we became very concerned that this was the system these children were being lost in. As foster parents, we didn't know the impact of a CASA until we received a placement that actually was assigned a CASA by our judge. And she was Devin. Her name was Devin. She was 9 months old, and she came to us, and she was a beautiful little girl. We loved her. We tried to help her through just the healing process of probably one of the most traumatic experiences in her life, being ripped away from the family that she knew and loved. And we were called one day, about 3 months after she came to us, we were called, and our CASA volunteer told us that she'd been looking through medical records and had found that this child was actually supposed to be on a daily medication for a heart condition, and we had no idea. So because she had the medical records, we were able to immediately get her into the specialist that was assigned to her cardiac care and to get her back on this medication. And she began to thrive. We noticed an immediate difference in her. What would have happened to Devin without that medication? Thankfully, we didn't have to find out. That CASA may possibly have saved her life. So that is the night and day difference that we noticed immediately on our cases. It meant that all we had to do was love, clothe, feed, and help these children through this traumatic time in their lives, while we knew the CASA was there to really oversee the entirety of the case and to make those solid recommendations in the best interest of the child. We were licensed for part of that time with Upbring, which is a United Way partner. We were able to purchase clothes for these children, many of whom just came to us with the clothes on their back. We actually had a little boy come to our home who was wearing a t-shirt and a diaper, and that was it. So we were able to go to Goodwill and purchase play clothes, especially in those first few weeks when they just had nothing. Goodwill is also a United Way partner. Many of the moms in the cases that we served were able to get life-altering help from Women's Protective Services, also a United Way partner. United Way needs people like you who are willing to step up to the plate and give generously to the community fund. Maybe you gave last year, the year before. With continuous giving, we can create greater sustainability for the United Way and our community partners. I would even challenge you to look at last year's donation and give a little more this year to help meet the new needs that have been created by the pandemic. Over 1,500 children were in foster care in the 6 counties that CASA of the South Plains serves. That's just last year alone. We were able to bless a little over 600 of them with a CASA volunteer. If you do the math, that leaves about 900 kids that did not have a CASA. With funding from the United Way, CASA is able to continue to recruit and train volunteers, people just like you, to serve as a voice for these children in the court systems. Hope starts here. With just $2.50 a week, you can provide three weeks of quality, affordable childcare for one child. That prepares them for a lifetime of learning. With just $5 a week, you could provide 3 well-check visits for low-income children. This helps prevent illness and keeps them healthy and in school. With $15 a week, you could provide support services for 15 victims of sexual assault or sex trafficking. Hope and healing is possible for victims that receive advocacy and counseling. With $25 a week, you can provide 6 months of mental health services for someone in need. Mental health matters in every stage in life and in every relationship. Hope starts here. How will you offer hope in our community?